From the great state of Texas, you are now listening to Skip the Noise podcast, a Rounded Edge media production. Thank you so much for joining us. And by us, of course, I'm referring to Mexican Nostradamus and myself, Benji, here for another fantastic episode. Shout out to Mike Tacklebox for the music, and shout out to your mom. I heard she was a lovely woman back in the day and quite a looker in her heyday. So shout out to her. Say hi to her for me. Big news. Biden with his student loans. He finally kind of made good on his promise, sort of. No, he didn't. And that's what I was actually going to ask you. It's something, right? It's a move, but it's not quite. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, okay, so if you've been living under a rock or not, of course, Biden's been talking about for the last couple of, I guess, year and a half now. One of his campaign promises was trying to help alleviate student loan debt, etc. And he talked about the evils of it and whatnot. So basically, what's happened is Joe Biden is going to clear up to $20,000 worth of debt if you have a federal Pell Grant, or $10,000 worth of debt as long as you make less than $125,000 individually, or $250,000 in a household. What does this mean, though? Basically, it's kind of a bullshit premise, right? So you're going to wipe $10,000 off your balance if you owe, if you make less than $125,000 or $250,000 joint. But the problem is that a lot of people aren't seeing is that this is mainly if you have an undergraduate degree. Graduate degrees aren't included in this. So there's a lot of people out there who are like, wait, what do you mean? There's some type of association or whatnot. But yeah, that is part of this whole game plan, which, to be quite honest with you, if anyone knows that's gone to college in the last 15, 20 years, an undergraduate degree, $10,000 doesn't even pay the semester for some state colleges. One semester. But yet.
Yeah, state colleges.
Yeah, it's a state college. We're not even talking about, I have cousins and friends and people that have kids going to like TCU and Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is $21,000 a semester. TCU is like $33,000 a semester.
I can't even comprehend that.
Fathom those numbers. It's imaginable. So now you have numbnuts basically doing nothing. He's saying, I'm going to give everyone like this basic handout, which I imagine will help some people. And if you look at just the propaganda on everywhere, everyone's like, oh, at least we got something. This is not even a drop in the bucket for majority of people. And to also kind of cut out people who have graduate loans, that's kind of an interesting caveat that a lot of people aren't touching, because it's just supposed to help with your undergraduate, which most of us have already consolidated student loans. So how does that break up in the student loan consolidation? To be quite honest with you, there's so many intricacies in this whole thing. It seems like it's a simple premise, but it's really not. And to me, it's just kind of embarrassing, right? The Democrats have been asking for at least $50,000 of student loan debt without regard of income level. A lot of people were prepared for this. A lot of people were hoping for this. That was the whole point of this student forgiveness, is that. And he didn't deliver. He didn't deliver at all. He stuck with what he basically said in the beginning, which I guess to his credit, he never really varied from, which was the $10,000 thing. But that doesn't help anybody. And on top of that, it's not fixing the problem. The problem with college is that's totally different, right?
The problem I have with this is that, yeah, like you said, it doesn't, like, it's not enough of a dent to justify all the shit all the time that is elapsed while this has been proposed. And then, it falls flat of what, like, in other words, the impact generated by it doesn't justify the fucking, or not even that, but just, it falls so far short, and it required, but all it did was check his thing. Like, okay, well, I moved on it. Right. Like, I took some sort of it, because there was a lot of criticism. All like, hey, wait, what the fuck? What happened to this? What happened to that? You know what I mean? You could go down the list all the way to A to the fucking F. I was about to say A to the motherfucking
K.
I should have said K. Damn it,
dude, that would have been dope. That would have been.
And while we're kind of cutting up here, real quick, just to back to the intro. Famously, Mr. Rick the Brown Python is not here.
Yes.
I don't know if you noticed or not, probably through my intro that I did not introduce him. He will not be joining us, unfortunately, for this episode. So, Ben, Mexican Nostradamus, and myself will carry on. But we do miss him. So hopefully we'll get him back next week.
Deeply.
But anyway,
deeply.
Miss him deeply.
Deep inside.
Deeply. And also too, when I shouted out your mom, I wasn't referring to your mom, Ben. It was the mom, like
the
in
proverbial
general,
mom.
I didn't think you took it that way, but like,
no.
I thought
I'm
about
good.
it like right after I said it, and I was like, no, dude. Like I'm talking about everybody's mom. Like whoever's listening, your mom. That's who I'm talking to.
Yeah, we're talking about your fucking mom. Everyone else.
No, because I don't. No. We don't. This is. If you've listened to the show for a long time, you will know that Ben's late mother was my side mom, as we said. My side mom. I think I even said that on the show.
Yeah,
I'm dead serious.
No, she was. I mean, she was just like very
my
much
side
like,
mom.
We grew up like to even just kind of go beyond the cutting up. We literally grew up every weekend together. Like I was at I grew up going to your house like every weekend or vice versa. So our parents were very familiar with the other one and just kind of assumed, I guess, a lot of parental guidance and just raising us.
No, big time. Yeah. It was
we're lucky.
Yeah. I joke around about it's a funny phrase, but like, it's kind of true, man. Like,
yeah.
And then even into adulthood too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's funny because we moved out here. I grew up in the city and then we moved out to Cyprus once I started having kids and everything. And part of the reason was because some of Ben's family had kind of settled out here. I wasn't familiar with this Northwest Harris County whatsoever growing up. It just ended up out here. Anyway, the point I say that is since we lived kind of close by, your mom, before she passed, I ran into her occasionally. Around town, which was really cool.
She would tell me about it. It was pretty fun. It was cool because she'd be like, "Oh my God, I saw." Oh, I know. No, it's just beautiful person. And the only reason I even bring all this up is because right after I love how I'm beating this to death, but it's important for me. And that's why I'm taking so much time. Cause I just flippantly was just like, shout out to your fucking mom. Fucking moms, yo.
I wanted to make it clear I wasn't talking about Ben's mom, dude. Cause that fucked with my head for a minute. I was like, dude, I'm going to go on record. And that sounds really fucked up if I don't go back and really fucking drive home that I was talking to
my brother knocks on your door like, yo,
dude,
we need to have a talk, bro.
Like what are we doing? That would be so fucking out of character. So anyway,
so moving on, moving back into another person who somehow is escaping the clutches of time, but Biden basically what the main problem is, and while everyone can, this is just kind of a petty handout, right? This is like whenever you pass a panhandler and you give them your pocket change. This is essentially what the Democrats have done in this situation. It's not really fixing the fact that the person is poor and living on the streets. Like, we're not tackling the real problems with college affordability, which is A, spiraling education costs, and B, capping these loans. I mean, like,
sorry to cut you off, but like, you kind of hit the nail on the head what I was trying to get at through my fucking verbal nonsense. But what the biggest part of it, like you said, that was a great analogy, was like handing out spare change to a panhandler who, it'll get him by for if he's genuine, 30 minutes to like 3 hours. But he's still going to be back the next day. He's going to be out on the street panhandling. You didn't really do shit,
Right. Exactly.
You get him in a fucking apartment. Okay. Then we're talking, making some changes here. So that's a very equivalent to what had happened here. It's a nice little, hey, I did something, but you didn't do shit, because the problem you're trying to correct, no shift happened whatsoever, because it's just going to get, if not worse, through time, because that's what it's done. It's escalated year after year after year, to the point where the numbers that Ben just brought up sound absolutely fucking preposterous. Just
astronomical. Imagine
even compared to like us, that's just, it's absurd. And so it's just an indicator of like how out of hand it's gotten. therefore highlighting how little a fucking impact it is just to be like, okay, here's like $10,000. Like you said, there may be a small percentage of people that really kind of makes a difference in a needle mover, but for the majority
it
of
doesn't
people,
do anything.
Shit.
Well, it doesn't do anything. And on top of that, I think, like you were stating, it not only doesn't move the needle, but it doesn't solve the problem, right? Because in the end, the problem with college education is that the cost is spiraling. And also the problem is the student loans themselves. Okay, if you go buy a house, right, or a car, and you take a loan, let's say you go and you want to buy a reasonably priced car, which is now not reasonably the way they shot up, but imagine you go buy a Honda Civic, right? $30,000 car. You can't take out $190,000 to buy a $30,000 car, right? Because they're gonna be like, wait, why are you borrowing so much money for something that's only $30,000? That makes no sense. Well, that's what's essentially happening with college loans. Some of these people are loaning out 80 to 100 grand for a bachelor degree that does nothing for them.
No.
So now they owe 100 grand and they're making $35,000 a year.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of people, a lot.
A
many.
Lot of fucking people.
That's the problem. Is like, I don't know what the percentages is, but it's like, that's the norm.
Right. Exactly. Which is fucking terrifying. Right. Because think about it, but that's part of the problem, right? College loans don't have a cap. Like, same thing with a house, right? If you go buy a house, they're not going to give you, if you want to buy a $300,000 house, they're not going to give you $700,000 or $800,000 to buy this $300,000 house. Why? Right. Because the loan doesn't make sense. So if you're going to be going to college to get a bachelor's degree and you're only going to make $35,000, $40,000, wouldn't it make sense that the max you can loan out would be that? Or even half of that?
No, for sure, dude.
I mean, fuck, like it makes no sense. But instead, we allow these kids to saddle all this debt. They're fucking 20-something years old. Half of them are fucking numbskulls because they're just following the American dream, which is like, oh, when you get to college, you'll make it and all this bullshit. But instead, they get wrapped up in the machine.
No, and you know what it is? Like, people don't the whole reason this exists is for the fucking process Ben just talked about. Hey, come here a second. Let me talk to you. Your future is important, right? You want to have the best opportunity you possibly can to provide for your future family and all these things. This is the key to your success here in the country that you live in American culture. You need this is a gateway to get the opportunity that you deserve. So with that being said, that's very important, right? So you want to make sure that, you're protected. So it may take you the rest of your life to pay this, but it's going to be worth it. So let me just break it down for you. Each, whatever you can manage for this month, that's what we'll deduct, from every paycheck you get for the next 30 years, maybe. So I got you, right? So yeah. And then you basically sign. All it is, in other words, the whole point of me going through that is you're signing a customer, whatever the fucking product is you're fucking selling them. You just get them to sign, boom. Now you've got them in a contract to where they're going to pay you. You don't have to worry about that shit. That's money.
Right.
All they did was turn it around. They basically gave you a number that exists in a computer world and you signed a contract.
Yep.
Seriously. Listen,
that you can never get out of.
That you can never get out of, but you're going to give up a piece of everything your fucking fingers worked for and you providing for your family. You're going to, out of that, you're going to have to give that to them.
Yep.
And then they didn't give you shit, dude. Poof. They ran off the block and you're sitting there holding a box with a rock in it.
Yep. Nice. Now, and then that's the truth, right? So essentially we still have this student loan system that propagates this dysfunctional lending that basically has allowed colleges to spiral out of control cost-wise. And the fucked up part is, ladies and gentlemen, there's individuals that have taken student loans that are so tied to them that their social security checks are being docked.
Bro,
think about it. You're fucking 67 years old.
Bro, they bridged the gap. Yeah. They got you from when you became an adult to when you fucking retire out of productivity. They got you for that entire gap. Your entire productive life was now you know what I mean?
Yep. I got you.
They got you.
You're fucking, you're locked in.
You signed,
locked in for the rest of your life.
For the rest of
your life. And guess what? They're compounding interest by the day. You know that the standard student loan person who pays student loans, right? When you refinance them and consolidate them, because you kind of have to, if not, you're going to be subject to, basically variable rates, which, if you were okay last couple of years, but now with interest rates going up, they pretty much fuck you. If you don't consolidate them, you basically, let's say on a 20-year refi, the first 10 years you're paying interest on this loan. You end up paying triple the amount of money you loaned out. And guess what? In the end, that's the dysfunction. So once again, you see the Democrats or just anyone dealing with this particular crisis, because it is a fucking crisis. There's $1.6 trillion in student loan debt right now that's floating over people's heads. They're saying somewhere around 40 to 45% of people are late at least one payment. 15 or 10%, I think it was 15%, are in default. I mean, this is a serious fucking crisis. And instead of solving it, but with actually, why don't we use real ways to fix the problem? Like, hey, how about we don't charge interest anymore, right? So every payment you make goes towards the principal. Or why don't we cap cap all repayment plans to 10 years? If you want to do these income-driven repayment plans, these IDPRs, whatever the fuck they're called, too many acronyms these days. Why don't you just cap it to 10 years? That's it. And the truth is they don't care. They don't give a fuck. And people are basically being, bamboozled into these systems. And I know there's, of course, this contingent of people like, well, if you loan the money, you got to pay it back. Understood. But for a lot of immigrants, for a lot of people that are first generation college people, now I'm saying not just first generation, Americans, but first generation college graduates, the concept of getting there was everything, because that's what was pushed. That was part of the dream. And now they're stuck in this never ending game of debt.
Yeah. And the ones that are the beneficiaries of this whole process, I guarantee you, whatever private entities have their hands in this fucking honeypot, Nancy Pelosi owns fucking 30% of the shares in whatever fucking company. Oh no,
shit. Like Navient, all those fucking student loan carriers.
For sure, bro. Like any fucking tentacle of the fucking process that has any sort of you know what I mean, public.
If you
can own shares in it, Nancy Pelosi's got all that shit. Check her portfolio. I guarantee you there's somewhere, dude.
Her fucking husband dropped some money. He dropped it like it was hot. He brought stacks of cash for the student refi people.
Here's what their life is, bro. Check this out. So there's you drop water through this very elaborate series of tubes, okay? And so sometimes the way that the water falls through it, you don't know which one it's going to drip through, right? But imagine, and the object of the game is to catch as much water as you can, because it's coming from everywhere. So what Nancy Pelosi and her husband have fucking dialed in is they know exactly where to put the little bowls and buckets under each little place where that fucking water drops out.
Oh, fucking for sure.
They have the cheat code and they know exactly which ones it's coming out.
Yep, because they're on top of the roof forcing the water that way. It's just
right. They're doing both.
Yeah,
they're doing both. They're deciding how much water pressure is applied to all this fucking tubing system, and they know exactly which tube the water's going to drip out of, so they know exactly where to put their buckets.
Yep. Yeah. And also how much can you expect the person who literally signed, I think he authored the legislation, or at least signed or supported it, the legislation that basically made student loans unforgivable debt. That's your president. That's the one who did it.
Someone who did it, bro.
Yeah, he's the one that authored it. So of course, in the end, this was always a joke. This was, like I told everybody, this is just a bad, it's a horrible situation. And to kind of go into a slightly different topic, but a variation of this was the fact that right now we're seeing there's a lot of movement from Kansas to what just happened in the primaries and the special election in New York. The indicator is that there's a lot of movement back to the left, that abortion, just as a sole core topic, seems to be moving people to a whole different realm back to the left. Right now in Pennsylvania, I believe in Michigan, and I think those two states, I know there's more, women voters are out registering male voters by significant margins.
Is it just as simple as, and I'm asking you, Ben, is it just as simple as you think the abortion was so extreme of a position that it just triggered people?
Oh yeah. No, women voters
is
are coming out in
is
droves.
it as simple as that, you think?
Oh, it's 100% that, because okay. And I explained this to Rick, but this is my theory. So whenever Hillary Clinton was running against Trump, right? All the polls had Hillary Clinton winning by significant amounts, right? No one even thought that fucking Trump had a chance. Well, part of that whole problem was that there was a lot of secret Trumpers, right? They were like in the closet Trumpers. Right. And they would say Hillary because, of course, they didn't want to look like an asshole, but they always knew they were going to vote for Trump. Yeah. I think that's the same situation that's occurring with abortion. You have a lot of very pious acting people like, oh, I would never do abortion. Oh, of course not. But then they think about what happens if I, fuck around my mistress, get her knocked up. Yeah. Am I really going to lose all of my kids, my whole family over this situation? So I think there's a lot of closeted abortionists. And I'm really saying, guys, this is, I'm really starting to see there's a lot of shift to the left. But with what Biden just did with student loans, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. It's so stupid.
Capitalize. It doesn't capitalize on it.
Exactly. If let's say if Biden just would have said, you know what, forgive all student loans, right? Would they have? So of course, some constitutional thing would have happened, and the Republicans would have went ape shit. But at least they would say, "Oh, he tried,
bro." And not only that, but like, why do you think Trump gained so much momentum?
Yeah.
And gained so much support? Because he does fucking go for it.
Yeah, like crazy shit.
They overturned fucking Roe v. Wade, dude.
Oh, bro. Well,
where are you at? Wake the fuck up, Democratic. Yep. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you.
Like they're playing for fucking. They're going for the fucking balls.
Yep.
While the Democrats are just playing around like, oh, food, $10,000.
No,
do some real Bernie shit. If you want to get credibility, do some real Bernie shit and be like, fuck student loans. What were they? I don't know, because you don't have fucking owe it anymore.
Right.
And then spooge on everybody.
Or just bring like
no,
a tank.
They don't do
out.
that because they don't have the fucking balls.
Yeah,
that's
dude, just bring a tank. Just bring a tank out and just start shelling the building that has all the student loan records.
That made people like, hey man, fuck America. Fuck this is the shit.
Oh yeah, dude, like playing the national anthem and like having eagles like landing on your shoulders as you're shelling the student loan business and just go ching, and you just, he has like those earmuffs on. He's like doing
like a Viking.
No, he's doing like Dukakis, like standing outside the tank and like shelling the student loan organization with eagles flying, going, I'm gonna free the people of America, and just
like a fucking freedom bukkake.
Exactly.
Party.
But what he did was he bent over for the same system that he's allowed to propagate. And
Nancy Pelosi was like, you can't figure this out. Like you can't solve this riddle.
I need more money. I need more money before I die.
I know. I need to gold plate my dead tiger that I owned as a fucking pet. You know what I mean? That I feed.
She's saving beef. For her diamond casket. She wants to be buried in a diamond casket. But you look at all this, the Democrats. But there is strong indicators, right? That instead of this massive red wave everyone thought was coming in the primaries, with having a geriatric president who's got, probably severe dementia, senile, issues with incontinence. Just
too,
those.
You know what I mean? Like all this shit we just said, like all these problems. And then, the leader of the whole fucking thing, doesn't know where the fuck he is.
Ever.
Cool.
Ever.
Like, welcome to
Ever.
America.
Yeah,
What?
good luck. And it's
What
like, guess what? What are we even fucking doing?
We're supposed to solve the fact that we have like a whole destroyed generation of males that, you know, can't get their dick sucked, so they go shoot up a whole fucking elementary school. You know, like we got problems like that. Like that's happening on a regular basis.
Yep.
But it's all good because the man at the controls has dementia and can't even like, no, that's not a good situation. Like if you were in charge, okay, if you own stock in a company, right, where the CEO or just whoever, the chairman, like whoever's calling the fucking final shot, who's ever pressing the final button on whatever decision, was suffering from like early onset of Alzheimer's, you would be very concerned.
Right, exactly.
You know, if your livelihood was resting on the fucking success of this enterprise, right, you would be very fucking concerned. So you should be very concerned, basically, is what I'm saying.
Should you be concerned?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel you. I'm right with you. I just, when you look at all these parts put together, and then you just get another just bullshit bill. But I still think the Democrats, despite this, will actually probably have a stronger showing than anyone thought. But once again, it's just another half step by the Democrats, right? They don't want to go full into anything, you know, and with this situation with student loans, it's just unfortunately what it is. So thanks for nothing, you know, good luck with the primaries. But moving on, I do want to I think we'd want to touch a little bit on what's been going on with the weather, in particular out here in DFW, as I don't know if you guys, if you're not local, if you're not from Texas, or, you know, you haven't been watching the news, we've had more rainfall in the last 24, at one point in 24 hours than we've ever had over 100 years. They're thinking almost in the history. We got a whole summer's worth of rainfall in one day. So yes, it's so if you're from the DFW area, I'm sorry, first off. The second thing is we have had just torrential downpours for the last couple of days, which has been just nuts. I mean, you see videos online, TikTok, downtown Dallas is flooded. We had flooding throughout my area. I drove that morning. There were, flooding on the freeway. You know, it's been pretty crazy. It's been pretty nuts. Now, of course, we can't hold a candle to what happens in parts, you know, in Houston. I mean, there's been some serious fucking flooding there, but it's been pretty nuts.
Y'all got it up there nuts. A little taste of which is weird. I'll be honest, I don't know. And I'm asking you honestly, because obviously the Houston is a lot more flood prone, closer to the Gulf. I mean, it's on the Gulf. Okay. So a lot of rainfall, more rainfall, mind you. A lot of people wouldn't know this. More average rainfall annually in Houston, more so than Seattle, which is like known as a raining. You know what I mean? Like rain is in their fucking culture, right? But it's more consistent drizzly rain, whereas Houston, it can be 700 years worth of rainfall in like 2 afternoons, and the whole city floods every fucking 2 months. So anyway, a lot of flooding here, but you don't hear that as much from up in your neck of the woods, or do you? That's what my question was, because is flooding more of a problem in the DFW area than makes the news, or is this rare?
No, this is rare. Right? This is rare because we really have much more than typically in Houston, you'll see like, oh, when it rains, you'll get 1 inch to 2 inches of rain normally.
And my whole point for even asking is because it's such a thing here, where it's like, flooding is a constant threat here. Right. It's built into, in other words, like it's built into the culture. Like people own boats that don't need to own boats just because
the motherfucker just got like pontoon boats in the backyard.
Because every 2 years it's like the fucking biblical floods where motherfuckers move and shit, like lose their homes. Like thousands of people. This happens a lot here. So in other words, I'm genuinely asking, as somebody who that's not just like I said, built into the psyche.
Right.
That's a pretty crazy thing for y'all to experience.
It's dry out here. I'll be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
We don't get a lot of rainfall. So in these type of situations, it's just like pandemonium. I mean, I'll be quite honest with you. When it rains out here, it's pretty nutty. Like I've never seen such piss poor driving in my life. Like it's
I can't even,
you don't even want to imagine, bro. I mean, all it is, it's like pickup trucks that are scared of water. I mean, you never, in Houston, that's the whole point of having a truck is so you can go faster in the water.
Right.
Out here,
it's stuck. You can actually make it through, underneath underpasses and shit.
Oh God.
Well, you'll see every year, like motherfuckers.
Well, I think we
losing their cars.
I think we went 65 days or 66 days without any registered rainfall.
Yeah, it was
in at DFW airport, which is where they officially measure it. So yeah, it's a pretty fucking big deal. So for it to drop 10 inches in a day in a 24-hour period, I mean, it was nuts. I think Dallas County was declared a disaster. Disaster area. Yeah. So
well,
no,
it was bad.
A disaster area because of the rainfall.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's
yeah. Crazy shit, dude. Crazy. I thought, did you say because of the flood or because of the
well, the reason I was going to bring up the drought. So it was like you're obviously referring to that.
Yeah.
But like it was, here's what's ironic. And this is why I'll bring this up, because we just came out of, because the whole state of Texas really was dry as fuck. And it was to the point where it was becoming a problem. I know the Austin area was pretty bad. I mean, down here, like neighborhoods were having, like water not bans, but what's the word I'm looking for? Restrictions, you know what I mean? Water usage restrictions, which for here is crazy because it rains. So like I just explained a few minutes ago.
Right.
So it's very rare that we have these water restrictions like they do. What's common, right? In like California and fucking, I'm sure like Arizona and shit. Out here, that doesn't happen very often. So in other words, there's signs posted up throughout different, municipalities and counties and shit, where it's these signs about water restrictions, like, oh, you can only use water on this. And now there's like in the same area, like now the signs are still up,
right?
But there's like flooding. So it's just a weird thing. Like I drove by today, like, oh fuck, there's like flash flood warnings, and I'm sitting here staring at this metal sign stuck in the ground that's like for mud district, blah blah blah. Like county recommends that you don't use fucking water. I was like, we don't need to use shit right now. What the fuck?
We got all the water we need.
We got plenty right now.
Well, in DFW, water restrictions are a norm. Right. It's always like,
that's what I'm saying.
You can only water twice a week, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it was definitely, it's part of the normal culture. So yeah, having that much rain out here is probably tantamount to people thinking that, they need to start building arcs and shit. I mean, it's definitely outside of the norm culturally and just even infrastructure wise, because nothing here is made to handle that much water. You know what I'm saying? So you have severe issues with just overall infrastructure. So flooding is not only common, it's completely like expected. I mean, even with smaller rainfall of like anywhere over 1.5 to 2 inches, we have serious issues with drainage and flood management.
I can't even imagine, man.
10 inches. Yeah. 10 inches was just like, whoa, like this whole city. I mean, it wasn't like a shutdown, but you got fucking water rescues and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just another symbol of some crazy weather we've been seeing. But on the flip side of that, have you heard about what they're trying to state that by 2050 will be part of it, as they term it, the heat belt. And we will be seeing on not an average, but we will see temperatures that exceed 125 degrees.
No, dude, no. That's
in
not
this in this heat belt. In this heat belt.
Ooh,
so ladies and gentlemen, make sure your AC is on.
Dude, no, make sure your AC is functional.
For real.
Because if that shit breaks, like 3 people in your household are gonna fucking die.
Like if you probably might be
not like
and you
not
could
even
be
old people. Yeah, you might be a spring chicken. You just, you might be the.
I mean, you know how many people are going to be hanging out at Walmart if your AC busts? You're just going to go to Walmart.
Oh, dude.
Dude, think about it. I would just go to
Walmart's
Walmart and buy a couple of chairs.
You could live there.
You'd have to. Just go to the freezer section, buy some food, buy some ice. But this is a real situation. So it's just kind of another telltale sign of how the extremities of weather are coming. And, of course,
can you imagine with the fucking tack on the humidity? That's going to be, you're going to get into some feels like numbers.
Oh, bro.
Like 151.
No, it just feels like death.
If a temperature here, it would hit 125.
Oh,
the fucking feels like temperature, would push into the 150s.
Well, no, but would you see the air evaporate? You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much humidity in fucking H-Town.
Bro, that's like a medical problem. Like you can't, you can't go outside.
That shit might cause fucking. That's probably gonna cause erectile dysfunction. That's for real, bro. That's a fucking heat, man.
Does the liquid start bubbling in your?
Oh my god, dude! I'm telling you, that's what. And so that just the flip side is how much weather problems we're running into, bro.
Dude, you can serve food at like 165.
That's what I'm saying, right? Meat. If you want a rare steak, it's with the 130s, right? If you put a fucking steak on the ground, you're gonna cook it pretty quickly at 125 air temp. Oh my god, dude. Anyways, so that's what I'm saying. Like we're seeing these crazy weather swings. So but yeah, so we got what our weather in Texas is just going to be just this miracle.
Well,
we're going to
what it's
15-inch torrential downpours and 125 degrees the next day. It's just wonderful.
And you know what else sucks, man?
What?
Like whenever you have those kind of weather shifts,
right?
And I'm sure right now the Farmer's Almanac, whoever's writing those is just like, oh, fuck, like throwing them across the road
already.
It does. No, you're just stop. Like whatever you're doing, I guarantee you this wasn't in your little forecast.
No,
so anyway, not at all. So, but what's funny is whenever you have that kind of movement, climate wise or weather wise, you shift around the animal population too,
Oh, for sure. Oh,
right,
for fucking sure.
Especially animals that kind of drift in and out of that land, the water thing. So what's been happening lately, just in the last like 2 weeks, there's been 2 news stories in one area in Houston, Missouri City. We've mentioned Missouri City on the show before, I think, because Travis Scott, that's his place of origin.
Yep.
So anyway, notably, if listeners from outside of Texas, Missouri City would maybe be made famous by, you all know probably who Travis Scott is. So unfortunately but in Missouri City, within 2 weeks, dude, there's been 2 gators sightings or encounters in regular ass suburban fucking quasi suburban neighborhoods. The first one was like a week ago. Some dude fucking wrestled the shit. Like the kids were about to go to the bus. Yeah, dude, he grabbed a fucking trash bag or something, was like, fuck this thing.
Christ.
Fuck this thing. So fucking cojones of the week, dude. If that's not an award, this dude just started it. Because he's like, oh fuck, my kids need to get to the bus. Let me you know what I mean? Let's wrestle this motherfucker. Let me get this motherfucker, put him in a bag, tape up his fucking nose, and get the fuck out of here. Basically, it's what this guy did. Like it's online. Shit went viral.
Bro.
Okay. You thought that was it for Missouri City and gator encounters. Nope. Not in August. You get another one. Some fucking some technician was coming to do some work on somebody's house. I don't know if it was a fucking plumber or some kind of shit. Went to this house and was about to go ring the doorbell. No, maybe I'll take a couple steps back because right on top of the welcome mat is a fucking gator, dude.
What?
Yeah, this is Missouri City, same fucking locale within. So man, if you live in Missouri right now, it is everybody be on the fucking gator alert. If you're not reporting gator sightings on your little Facebook fucking neighborhood page, you're an asshole. Because one's going to end up eating somebody's dog. And and this happens, right, dude? Whenever, like I said, flooding is a way of life here in the wonderful city of H-Town. Yep. In all parts of the surrounding area, flooding as a way of life. So therefore, once again, displaced nature, snakes, gators, all kinds of bullshit just ends up in places where you don't want to see them. And it happens every year. Like you just typical suburban gator sightings, right? But dude, in the same fucking neighborhood, like within a week, that's a gator problem. Holy shit. Like, in other words, like it's one thing for like a quasi random gator sighting once every couple of years to like twice in a week. If I lived in Missouri City right now,
fuck that.
Oh my God. I'd be watching where I walk.
Oh, all day, dude. All day long, because
that's fucking scary.
And gators are terrifying.
Bro, a gator. Like I'm sitting here downstairs in my house and I'm picturing my front door to my house is right there. So whoever lived in that house, their reality for that day was that there was a fucking alligator on the other side of their front door that they casually step through every morning, just like you were pouring a glass of water. You don't even think about it. But think about the one morning you do that and there's a fucking alligator sitting there.
This, and the best part about not the best part, the scariest thing is that this is a fucking primordial beast with the brain of a fucking walnut.
Eat the soul out of your testicles.
They literally have a chomping like what pound per pressure of something like 600 pounds per square inch that will the whole purpose is just eat and propagate. And all, it doesn't care if you're a nice person. It doesn't care if you believe in God. It doesn't care if you're right or left.
No, it doesn't.
If you're within its proximity, it's gonna fucking eat you, bro.
Dude, it doesn't give a fuck about MAGA or
Doesn't care if you wear a red hat, blue hat.
It doesn't care. Hey, you know what it also doesn't care of, though? Ironically, is whether the Earth's fucking flat or not.
No,
it doesn't give a shit about that either. It's just like, oh, flat? What? You're nuts?
It's like if it only care if it could eat the fucking Earth. Like its only purpose is to fucking eat and shit and kill.
It's easier to eat if it's flat. So
exactly, that's what I'm saying. So big circle, nom nom nom. I eat flat thing, nom nom nom. I mean, fuck, dude. It's horrible. It's definitely not something you want to be fucking entertaining in a proximity close to yourself, especially because it literally does not give a fuck about you. It does not give a fuck about anything. And pretty sure if your pets are around it, it's gonna fucking eat them too. How
scary is it?
Right?
About this, how scary is it to have something on the opposite side of your front door that A can eat you with no problem, B doesn't give a fuck about you?
No, it doesn't. Like you can be screaming, begging for your life from this thing
scary
staring at you, chomping down and trying to drag you into the bottom of a lagoon. And guess what? It gives zero fucks about what you believe, say, or hope is going to happen. It doesn't care if you're late on your taxes. It doesn't care about anything. What else, dude?
Bro. It doesn't care if you skipped mass.
Nope.
It doesn't give a shit if you missed your last 6 confessions.
Exactly, bro.
It doesn't care if you're late on your student loans either.
No, it's just nom nom nom, chomp chomp chomp. You fucking and I'm gonna drag you to the bottom of a pond so you can drown, and I'm gonna feed on you over the next couple of weeks. That's all it cares about. And I mean, those things are so fucking brutal. They even kill each other. Like the big ones will eat the little ones.
Yeah,
that's how. That's So fuck gators. You know what I'm saying? So anytime there's multiple sites of them, definitely something we need to be fucking worried about.
Skip the Noise has become the official radar for what you should be worried about.
That's gators.
Dude, I think it's a niche that we've created for ourselves.
I know,
because it's not even so much political commentary. It's like we provide you with the fucking gauge of what the fuck you should be worried about.
And fucking gators are up there, bro.
And gators are right. Gators are a real thing. Like you can't just dismiss this. You can't take it off the table.
No,
because gators.
There's not a nice gator. You can't pet a gator.
No, like you can't tell him like
fucking eat you.
Yeah, maybe I can talk to him. You've got better success talking to some drunk guy on your fucking porch
Yes. Oh
than,
yeah.
than a gator.
Oh, significantly more successful because a gator just sees heat. It just says it's right. You know what I'm saying? That's what reptiles see is heat.
It's a
So it just sees a
dinosaur.
blob of heat that it can
shit.
shove in its mouth. And that's
Yeah.
all it cares about. So if you're out there and if you're out there, guys, you see a fucking gator, you're not Crocodile Dundee. As brave as this person was that you're talking about, dude, don't fucking do that.
Yeah, don't be
You
that
know what
guy.
you do? You know what you do? It's very simple. You call 911. Or you find you figure out how to contact your animal control because those fucking people get paid to do that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
man.
be the like
Yeah,
don't
don't come
go
out with a
there
knife.
with a rake on some dad shit.
Oh yeah.
Like just call some authorities.
Yeah, don't go all Paul Hogan thinking that you got a knife, you just pull it out. This is a knife. No, it's not gonna work out for you, bro. You're gonna fucking end up in the chompers, and guess what? You know what the worst part is? You probably won't even die. You're just gonna be missing an arm, and you're just gonna be like, "What happened?" Oh, I brought out a knife to take out a gator, and everyone's gonna be like, "Are you fucking stupid? Like, why would you do that?" So save yourself the embarrassment. This isn't Crocodile Dundee part 1 or 2. And yeah, there's nothing special about you. So leave the fucking gators alone. But moving on to a place that could have a fuck ton of gators. This just popped up on the radar. We spotted
Oh, yes.
a waterworld, ladies and gentlemen.
A real one.
A real one. So, and as we pull it up, because my lazy ass forgot to pull it up. So of course our new wonderful James Webb Telescope is finding new worlds as we speak, and one in particular is one that is not fairly close, but it's something that we discovered. It's 4.8 times the size of our current Earth. But through chemical signatures and by basically chemical reactions, we believe that and also the position of the planet in relative to its sun, it's in what we term they call it the Goldilocks zone. It's neither too hot nor too cold, so its surface can maintain water at a liquid state. So with that all being there, we basically believe that the new planet has deep, massive oceans. So this is pretty big. It's this thing could be real, and I'm trying to get the actual name of it. So yeah, it's the name of the planet
region, or the planet, or whatever.
No, the planet. Well, so and the researchers in Canada, it's 100 light years from Earth. So mind you, this thing's fucking far away. The planet's denoted T0I-1452 and orbits one of 2 small stars in a binary system. And it's located in the Draco constellation. So if you look up, it's in the northern sky right by the Big Dipper. You'll notice a bunch of stars that kind of form a curve. That's kind of Draco. So nonetheless, it's they try to say it's kind of funny because depending on who you read it from, they say it's slightly bigger than the Earth, but it's roughly 4.8 times larger than the Earth. So it's pretty fucking. That's definitely a lot bigger than the Earth. Right?
4 times.
4.8 times.
I mean, I guess,
or the mass. It has 4.8 times the mass of Earth, so it's significantly larger. I guess in the relativity of planets,
right? I mean, because if you're going Earth to the sun,
yes,
you know what I mean. That's a way bigger jump than 4 times Earth.
Oh yeah. I mean,
in that, when you're talking about that kind of a scale, so okay, I guess I get that.
Oh god, if you ever want to go down a fucking rabbit hole, you should look up the relative size of stars on YouTube.
My mind fucking,
you shit your pants.
Yeah,
when you do it, dude. I forgot. It's like this German guy or some like European thing. They're called Kepler or something.
It better
that
be
explains it. And he explains, he's like, nice, yes, you see the current star, and like they'll start expanding out how big our sun is compared to the Earth. So they'll use the Earth, then they'll use the sun, and then they'll start comparing mega stars.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some where when they do the comparison, the sun becomes microscopic almost on the screen,
Dude,
because
that's like
the bigger sun is like, I think there's one that's like, correct me, and you know, you can fact check, but I think it's 1,000,000 times the size of our sun plus.
what?
Yes.
Like that's that kind of scale.
Yes.
Really take a second to
bro.
visualize it. Yeah. And so
It's bigger than the orbit between the sun and Jupiter. The biggest star literally encompasses the orbit between between Jupiter and the sun. That's billions. I mean, I dare say trillion, maybe. I'm not for sure, but it takes light 8 seconds to come from, 8 minutes to go from the sun to the earth.
Yeah.
I think to get to Jupiter, it takes, I can fact check this. Hold on, sunlight. Oh, you can hear my typing.
And that's a far, like from the the Earth to the sun in fucking distance.
Yeah, dude.
That's a long way.
Okay, so in the sun, the amount of time it takes from the light from the sun to reach Jupiter is 43.2 minutes.
Oh my!
This is traveling at the speed of light. So the fucked up part is the biggest star that they know of, some Kepler or some massive fucking one, or it's Betelgeuse. I think it might be Betelgeuse.
Yes,
anyways,
yeah, that's the best.
One of the biggest ones would encompass that whole orbit.
Fuck.
Yeah, so like light from one part of the star would take 43 minutes to get to the other part of the star. Isn't that crazy? That's how fucking big it is. Dude, I'm telling you, when you start looking at the grand scale.
Yeah, and that with the backdrop of that in your fucking head, think about how little it matters. Like getting pissed off about somebody in traffic.
Oh, right?
Like how minuscule of a fuck the circumference of Betelgeuse thinks about that shit.
Oh yeah, bro. Just think about the existentialism. This has been hitting me the
dude,
last couple of weeks.
This line is so long right now for me in this self-checkout. I want to fucking talk to somebody.
But all the while, we're a fucking speck of sand flying through the universe at like 12 or 13,000 miles, right? Through our little solar system, revolving around what is known as like a small to medium-sized star that is one of billions circling a mass in the middle of our fucking like the Milky Way galaxy. We're circling something that's so massive that it attracts the mass of 186 million stars.
Yeah, dude.
And all the while, we're just a small galaxy because there's significantly larger ones that make up billions, hundreds of billions of galaxies out there in just the universe that we can see. But yeah, go ahead and call customer service about the checkout line. Fuck, dude.
Oh fuck, dude.
It's fucking.
What? You guys don't have diet sour cream,
bro?
Fuck, you don't have organic, gluten-free diet sour cream, bro. God, fucking fuck your soul. You don't have that shit.
Oh my god, dude, think about it. Just think about it. Just fucking think about it. Like, guys, at any point in time, as crazy it is, we're a speck of sand. We're a microscopic particle compared to this shit. And at any point in time, something could come out and just poof,
Yeah.
It's all gone.
Whatever, dude.
All fucking gone.
Let me indulge real quick.
I'm going to indulge you.
Yeah, I know you will.
Give you an indulging.
So from this study, the TOI 1452b Spiru and tests reveal super Earth in a temperate orbit transiting an M4 dwarf. So this is what Ben's talking about. This is like the study from the Astronomical Journal. Okay, I just want to read the abstract because this almost made my head fucking explode just reading this. So I just wanted to share. Here's the abstract. Exploring the properties of exoplanets near or inside the Radius Valley provides insight on the transition from the rocky super Earths to the larger hydrogen-rich atmosphere mini Neptunes. Fucking strong opening. Here we report the discovery of TOI 1452b, a transiting super Earth, all kinds of fucking formulas, in an 11.1 day temperate orbit around the primary member, more blah 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 blah, of a nearby visual binary M dwarf. The transits were first detected by the this is awesome. I wish I was a member of this transiting exoplanet survey satellite, then successfully isolate between the two. I don't know, alien language companions with ground-based photometry from the Observatoire du Monde Magnétique at Muscat 3. The planetary measure of TOI 1452b was established through high-precision velocimetry with near infrared Spiru spectropolarimeter as part of the ongoing Spiru legacy survey. The measured planetary mass and infrared bulk density is suggestive of a rocky core surrounded by a volatile rich envelope. More quantitatively, the mass and radius of TOI 1452b combined with the stellar abundance of refractory elements measured by Spiru is consistent with a core mass fraction of 18%, some formula, and a water mass fraction of whatever the fuck that is. The waterworld candidate TOI 1452b is a prime target for future atmospheric characterization with JWST featuring transmission spectroscopy metrics similar to other well-known temperate small planets, such as well-known LHS 1140b.
Oh, it's very well known.
Dude, I knew what that was.
Everyone knows LHS 4319.
Yeah, you fucking idiots that you don't know this shit. And K2-18b.
No, that fuck. I mean, who doesn't know about K2-18b?
This system is located near Webb's northern continuous viewing zone, implying that it can be followed at almost any moment of the year.
Fucking crazy. Dude. The crazy part is that's the same language that we all speak,
that
and you
don't
understand any of it. It's fucking madness. Oh, sorry. Just to do a quick self-correction, the largest star we know of now is called UY Scuti, SCUTI, and I was wrong slightly about the million times. You could put 5 billion suns inside of it.
What?
You could put 5 billion of our suns would fit in the sphere that's the same size as UY Scuti. 5 billion with a B. Its radius is 1,700 times larger than the radius of our sun. So, yeah. So if the sun was a marble, you could put. I mean, think about just marbles, right? Oh, 5 billion marbles. That's a lot. Fuck ton of marbles. Now imagine 5 billion of our suns. Yeah, isn't that fucking madness? So when you hear all this space shit, it's just madness. And like you said, like when you're reading off that, I mean, basically all that is just some nerds spooting off that they saw something really cool on the new telescope that has like a water signature. And basically we're using this measurement. But to think about it, and the crazy part is 100 light years away from us.
Yeah, and we can see it. Like we can see that's a fucking powerful telescope, dude.
Well, the new I'm telling you,
can
James Webb is no joke.
Oh,
it's fucking crazy.
You famously,
fucking
like,
crazy.
I bet there's a lot of people that listen to the show that know about the James Webb, or like, you know, the what's the word? The significance of it.
Yeah.
Because of Mexican Nostradamus.
Dude, got jerk off to this. I'm trying to find posters of it. I'm gonna get a poster because now we got
I got
the new Office Space. I'm gonna put a poster of this shit.
Check this out. In an effort to increase the engagement with the Skip the Noise listenership, I propose this. If you can prove that well, I don't know if you could prove it. I'll tell you what, if you claim
it,
that you know about the James Webb telescope and what it could provide human society, if you know that solely because of Mexican Nostradamus, email the show, skipthenoisepodcast@gmail.com, and let me know. If you do that, I will send you the picture of once again, we mentioned this a couple shows ago,
our new artwork.
We learned how through these calls that we do, we record these shows remotely. We're able to have a little, what would you call this, Ben? Like,
I would say it's creative imaging.
Well, specifically, what would it be called? Like what do you call that? Like a
well, they call its actual name in Zoom is
like a chalkboard or something.
Yeah, they call it the chalkboard.
That's what I was looking for.
A whiteboard. It's called the whiteboard.
Yeah, like a whiteboard. So Mexican Nostradamus can make pictures, right? And I can see them, unfortunately. And these pictures, you know, they get a little suggestive, should we say?
I think they're artistic.
I'll leave it to your
I think it's the way human beings, you know, are meant to see.
I won't discount that. I won't say it's not artistic. I will give you that, sir. It is artistic.
Thank you.
It's comical. It's humorous. There is a lot of art involved because there's a lot of emphasis and feeling in certain characters. So anyway, if you're interested, or at least claim that Mexican Nostradamus was the person that put you on to the James Webb telescope and the things that it could provide, the future of society, I will then send you the fucking screenshot or the picture I took of this lovely drawing,
and you can have it. It's all for you.
You can do whatever you want with it
all day long. But I'm still shocked though. I think, and that's the one thing I think I think space should give everyone perspective of how insignificant and little, but also how special everyone is. Just in the famous words of Carl Sagan, you know, despite our insignificance and everything, we are such a rarity, you know, in that sense. So it's even though it's almost just like logically like mind melting and defies logic, the fact that we're in this massive thing called the universe, it just also symbolizes, like I said, just how special and amazing every single person is, because you're not just, I mean, the earth is considered microscopic, if that, on a universal scale.
Well, it's all relative. Like,
right. We're on a planet. We're tiny little specks.
But to
that planet.
Us, that's everything. And there's and it's microscopic.
Yep.
Like the shit that we think is microscopic.
Oh, right.
You know,
right. That dude who cut you off the freeway.
Right. We're microscopic.
Exactly. What even or just the action of one individual towards another. How small is that really? In the grand scheme of like where like massive stars are exploding, and when they do, they wipe out millions of stars or wipe out millions of planets.
Yeah, but still my ego needs constant maintenance. You know what I mean? I gotta like make sure that I operate on a certain way and blah blah blah. And how dare, you know what I mean, something happened to me to where I'm uncomfortable with the fact that, like, well, I don't like the way that makes me look, man.
Or there's just there's no double vegan soy lattes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all mad.
It's madness, man.
Yeah,
isn't it crazy? I still to this day still trips me out. So
that does trip me out.
It's wild. Yeah. It's wild. So I think as we begin to float towards the end of this universe of this particular Skip the Noise episode. I think we're gonna start just wrapping it up, finding the way towards the tail end of our galaxies, and leaving you, ladies and gentlemen, with just the hope that just beyond the horizon, and even further than that, anything can happen.
That's true. It is. And I know we talk a lot about on Skip the Noise, the idea here is to kind of shake up the blanket and get all the dust going and everything, so we can really look at it in a way that the mainstream media doesn't feed it to you. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do it from an
that's that breaking point shit.
Exactly. Like that's what we go flat. Damn, what episode was that where Ben, you compared
went off.
Yeah, you did. You made a perfect analogy where it's like they're, that's their mission statement, right? But like
they are that.
It's like the version Ben's brilliant fucking analogy, which one Jeremy Masters particularly appreciated. He compared, he's like, the Breaking Point's crew, they're like Blink 182, you know what I mean? Whereas we're like GG Allen,
punk rock, bro.
Like we're the real, like, getting kicked out of their own venue for fucking throwing shit and bleeding on people and attacking the audience
GG
violently,
bro.
Right? As opposed to like, oh, the small things. But anyway. That's if you want to go back and find. I don't know which episode.
That was fun. That was a fun one.
That was
a good show. That was
a good show. Oh, you know what? I think it was us. It was just us.
Yeah, it was us. It was just us too. Remember?
I remember it was just us too.
That was a good one.
And thank you. I want to thank that there's a very we're not a huge show, okay, but we do
massive in North Korea, bro.
We're massive. Well, we're massive in Italy, France. We've got some internet. No, I'm not bullshitting. We've got recently some little exploration in the European.
Hopefully
front.
Not Italy. We kind of went off on a couple of our accents
Canada
there.
Where Canada likes us a little bit.
Oh, sweet. Send the
state of New York. You know what?
Here,
let me take this opportunity real quick as we wrap up to kind of do a little housekeeping. So, particular shout out to New York State. Nice. Big uptick in listenership specifically from there. So shout out, always Texas for holding it down. California those are kind of our big three. Texas by far, this is a Texas show. But we definitely maintain quite a bit in California, New York, and Florida, of course. But like I said, I just wanted to kind of shout out some of the new France, Italy,
nice,
some more Canada. We had some Canada listenership for a while that kind of dropped off, but so anyway, big ups to you guys. But other than that, yes, it sucks we couldn't have Rick here tonight, but
but we'll catch him next week. I think unfortunately everyone's with school starting. That's the one thing you're gonna start seeing is kids getting sick, unfortunately. Bringing everyone back together. So it's gonna be we'll like I said, I think we're gonna we always try to keep as good of a cadence as we can, making sure we try to come to you every week. If not, we'll try to get back shortly after. So we're, just with everything happening, we're always moving around, but we always want to try to provide the best show we can for everyone.
Yeah, and
so we hope
consistency is our big thing we stand by. We missed 1 week a few weeks ago, which was the first time in about 2 years.
Yeah.
So if you're just joining the show, that's our big thing. We want to keep, however, we got to get it out.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we got to get it out. So thank you for listening. Thank you for any new listeners.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Please share. This is the only way. This is a grassroots type of movement. So we're not. I'm not throwing a lot of advertisement. I'm not real slick with the fucking social media, man. I'm here. Like I'll post some shit every now and again. But if you want to find us, you can find Benji all over the damn fucking interwebs. I'm at Instagram at skip_the_noise_podcast. Also like I said, the Gmail, I dropped that earlier in the show, skipthenoisepodcast at gmail.com. Also on Twitter, skipthenoise PO1. What else? Find us on Good Pods. That's an app you can download and also interact with other podcasters if you're a host yourself or if you have a podcast or if you just listen. It's a good avenue to discover new independent podcasts. So check out Good Pods. And if you do, follow our page where you can actually leave us a tip. We don't do any kind of advertising, or at least we haven't up to this point. We're not closed off to it, I would definitely, if we could arrange something. I'm always doing things. You can also, if you're interested perhaps on what I've got going on this month, sales wise, what kind of items Benji's accumulating, you can always find me, hit me up on the DMs and Instagram or whatever. And I can give you the link to all the websites you need to know what
all
I've
the
got
websites,
and I'll cut you a little Skip the Noise discount. How about that?
Nice.
So if you're interested in any of that, let me know. But other than that, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for staying with us. Please, interact as much as humanly possible.
Yep.
To get
leave some reviews, leave some likes, do whatever you need to do.
Yeah,
and just,
we really are.
Moving.
We definitely, because this is at this point, man, we've been in this game for 2 years and we're not going anywhere. This is something I think that is really built into the blood of the three of us, myself, Ben and Rick. And to the point where, like, there's sometimes, man, it gets really rough when it comes to timing. We've mentioned before the show, three of us work crazy hours on our regular jobs. Also, like, what is it, 11 kids between the three of us? A lot going on in that regard. So for us to do this consistently is a little bit of a quite a project, but we are committed to it. And that's why it keeps coming out. That's why I went on episode, what if this is either 114 or 115? Don't quote me on that. It's been one of those kind of weeks, but anyway, that's why it's important. That's why we keep doing it. So however we have to do it, if somebody's got to be absent, if we do guests, I am going to branch out a little bit more on some other, I used to do that quite a bit on some other podcasts. So I'll keep everybody updated on to who I'm coordinating with, what kind of shows are coming out, where you can hear Benji on the mic, if that's your thing, if that's what you like. You want to hear me not talking politics, talking some other shit. But anyway, that being said, thank you guys once again. And you have a wonderful week. Ben, thank you. Rick, I hope everything goes good, man. Hope those kiddos get back up to snuff real soon. And we'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Late.